Solve quadratic equation by completing the square method. By completing the square method. It is about making the left side of a quadratic equation into a perfect form, or into a perfect square, the form of this. What are we trying to say now? How do we make the left side be in a form of this? Let's see how this can be done. By the way, the same completing the square method, it is the one which has born this formula. It is the one which is used to drive or to come up with this formula, which we call the quadratic formula, of which we are going to use this formula in our next video. So let us now factorize this one so that we drive it up to the time we are going to reach this point. And after that, we are going to have an example where we are going to use the same method of completing the square method to solve the quadratic equation. So what is the first step? Step number one is all about dividing both sides by the coefficient of x squared. So what I'm trying to say is that we divide there, we say divided by x, even there by x, by a, sorry, the coefficient of x squared is a, divided by a there, even to this other side by a. This means that we are going to have x squared plus b over a, and where there's b there, there's x, then plus c over a, then is equal to 0 divided by a. The answer is 0. So if the coefficient of x squared was 2 or was 3 or negative whatever number, I would have divided it throughout by the same number. After this point here, our next step is that we have to move the constant number. Which one is the constant number? This one here. We have to move it to the right hand side. So we are going to have x squared plus b over a, there's x there, is equal to 0 minus minus c over a. That is what we are going to have. After we do that, what is our next step? Our next step from there, we are now going to divide the b divided by 2. We are going to half. In other way around, we have to make this one become the half. So this means that we are going to have x squared plus b over a, x multiplied by 1 over 2. That is the meaning of half. Then it will be equal to 0 minus c over a. Now this is the same as that one is the same as saying x squared plus b over 2a. Then we have x there, which is equal to, we have negative c over a. It is the same as having that. Our next step, it will be x squared plus b over 2x, 2a what we do, we are going also to square this. Then we are going to say minus b over 2a. Even this one has to be squared, which will be equal to negative c over 2a, over a. So it will be negative c over a. Then the same will be plus, it will be plus 2 or plus b over 2a, both of them, or this fraction squared. Whatever we do here, we'll also do it there. So the reason why we have put minus there, it is because we want to come up with a difference of two squares, or because positive this minus this, the answer will be 0. So after we reach that point, now we are just going to concentrate on x squared. We just have x squared plus b squared. Maybe I just say plus b over 2a. Then this is the same as, since they are both squares, is equal to negative c over a plus b squared over 2 rather over 4a squared. Once we reach this point now, we are going to have x plus b over 2a squared is equal to, which one is the common there? It is 4a squared. A into 4a squared, the answer will remain as the 4a. 4a multiplied by negative c. The answer will be negative 4ac. Then we come to plus 4a squared into 4a squared, the answer will be 1. 1 times b squared, the answer will be b squared. The answer will be b squared. So this will mean that our next step now, it will be x plus b over 2a into brackets squared is equal to, we are going to rearrange this one by starting with a positive number. So it will be positive b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. When we reach this stage now, we are going to square root both sides. So the square root of something squared, it is the same thing without the square, meaning just cancel. So we are going to have x plus b over 2a is equal to, there the square root of b, it is there, but the square root of a there, it is not there. So we just let everything will remain in the square root minus 4a. But the square root of 4, this denominator here, it is 2, and the square root of a squared, it is just a. So that is what we have. Our next step is, we now have x is equal to this b over 2a, you go to the other side, meaning we have negative b over 2a, then plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Why have I put plus there or minus? Remember, Here we were finding the root of everything, b squared minus 4ac. Now that this a and the c has no square, that's the reason why we couldn't find the square root of b squared minus 4ac, because both of them are the numerators. So instead of that, we'll just say the answer is plus or minus, because the square root of anything, it's the answer is either positive or negative, the same negative answer. So once we have reached here, our final answer now, I'll write it there as x is equal to, when we come here, we'll find that the common there is 2a. So 2a into 2a, it will go 1. 1 times negative b, the answer will be negative b. So we put our plus or minus, and you put our root. What is our 2a into this 2a? The answer is 1. 1 times everybody there, it will be the same thing. So we have b squared minus 4ac, minus 4ac. b squared minus c 4ac. So our final answer is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac, everything over 2a. So this marks the end to this question. Now, this was not the question. I was just showing you on how we come up with this formula by using the completing the square method. Now, let us now solve one question. We now solve one question which we are going to use the same method we have used here. Thank you so much. So we have this question number A. So the first point there, it is to move we have to move the constant number to the other side, so it will be 2x. Okay, of course that will be the first step, but according to what we have just finished doing, we said we divide throughout by the coefficient of x squared. So we are going to have this. So we're going to have x squared plus 7 over 2x is equal to 0 minus 3 over 2. Because 0 divided by 2, the answer is 0. Then this one will be moved to the other side. Then 0 minus this, it will still be negative 3 over 2. So the best answer which I will write there is negative 3 over 2. What is the next step once we reach there? We have now to half this one here. So it will be x squared plus 7 over 2 x times 1 over 2, that is the half, then which will be equal to negative 3 over 2. It will be equal to negative 3 over 2. So once we reach that point there, this one, it will be x squared plus 7 over 4. X is equal to negative 3 over 2. Once we reach this point now, we are now going to square. So we are going to have x squared plus 7 over 4, x then plus 7 over 4. We square this one, which will be equal to negative 3 over 2. Then plus the same square we have done there, we put it there. So it will be like this square also. It will also be square. Once we reach there now, we are now going to have x squared plus 7 over 4 square. squared, maybe both of them, we just put them in square, is equal to negative 3 over 2 plus 49 over 16. So we are going to have x plus 7 over 4. What do we have? This square is equal to, which one is the common factor there, or the common denominator? Is 16. 2 into 16. 2 into 16, it goes 8. 8 times the 3, it is 24. So it will be negative 24 plus. This one into there, it goes 1. 1 times 49, it will be 49. So we are going to have x plus 7 over 4 squared is equal to, this one is 25. So 25 over 16. What do we do now? We square root both sides. So the square root there we cancel. So we're going to have x plus 7 over 4 is equal to what is the answer there? Our answer will be plus or minus 5 over 4, because the square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 16 is 4. So when we reach here now, we're going to have x is equal to negative 7 over 4 plus or minus 5 over 4. When you look at this one, the common is 4. So 4 is common. We are going to say 4 into 4, 1. So it will be negative 7 plus or minus 5. So the value of x will be negative 7 plus 5 over 4, or negative 7 minus 5 over 4. So our final answer will be x is equal to negative 2 over 4, which will be x is equal to negative 1 over 4. That is the first answer. Negative 1 over 2, so not negative 4. Negative 1 over 4. Or we are going to say x is equal to, this one is negative 12. So it will be negative 12 over 4, which will be x is equal to negative 3. So these are the two answers of x. Those are the two values of x. So this marks the end to that question. Question number B, I will leave it for you. Work it out and send the solutions. Thank you so much.